Hi, and welcome to the Thinking Out Loud podcast, a show with meaningful conversations in English with non native speakers. My name is Jendrik,
My name is Masha.
and we are two English teachers who.
Who are happy today? I'm really happy. I don't know about you, but because
Wait, it was
first
only
time
yesterday.
in no, the first time in forever, we received some feedback, some comment to our show. So a student who was
You
on
received,
the
I
sh
guess, Masha,
well, but
because
this is we, of course, because this is
all
I'm the
right, all right.
point of contact.
No,
So
but
we had
I don't want to say. I don't want to say like you received and I did not because it's I'm not so excited
I
about
am
individual comments. I mean, it happened to me before.
okay. Now I see your point. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I
No,
was
but it's not only it's not the comment, the fact that somebody commented on it, but the fact that, this is the kind of thing we want to happen in people's minds when they listen to us. They want to say something, they want to
Mhm,
respond
mhm.
to. And this was the comment that the person said. It was, by the way, it was Dima, who was once on our show before.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
he said that,
yeah.
thank you for this podcast. There was so many times when I wanted to butt in and say
To
something.
contribute,
And
yeah,
this
to
is
say
exactly what
something,
we
yeah,
want.
yeah,
And
yeah, right.
if and he said, this is something I would like to discuss. So no problem. We can do part two, part three,
Anytime,
part four.
anytime, yes,
If
anytime.
if somebody is so, excited about what they are hearing and they want to, discuss the same
Except,
thing.
except, except, I have to warn everybody, Dima, as well, that what is happening in your head during listening, is one thing, and then the performance is another thing, because you can never have the same conversation twice. Like, you can't sort of, have exactly the same questions or exactly the same reflections in your head. But I'm also glad, Masha, and happy, in fact, that our conversation generated this kind of reaction that give me the mic. I want to say something
Yeah,
from
yeah,
my
yeah, 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 yeah.
side, and to comment. Great, great, great. That is exactly what we want. So let's keep it up, and let's hope that our conversations are actually sparking these sort of thoughts and reactions in our listeners.
Yeah, so we
But
encourage people, if you experience
yeah,
something like this, please give us a holler, and we were happy
yeah,
to run the
yeah. That's
same, to talk about the same topic.
yes. Not to mention, of course, join us on the show. I know it's not so easy to make that decision. It's stressful as hell and so on. Used to be stressful for us as well, Masha.
It
Remember
used
the
to be,
first
yes. I hope one day we will
episode?
publish all these bloopers and
Yeah, yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, but it's you're right. I'm happy with that too. But first, when you said two English teachers who are happy, I thought, wait a second. It was only yesterday you texted me that you bought a fire extinguisher to fight drones. That
And
are
now I'm happy,
apparently
it gives me a small but sense of, I don't know, safety. Well, it's not safety, of course, but
sorry, Masha. It's
I
it's
don't even
it's
know.
it's. I know it's the whole thing is absurd. The whole subject is absurd. But how are you going to fight drones with a fire extinguisher? I
No,
mean,
I'm not going to find drones with a fire extinguisher, although if it comes to that,
I,
uh, but
I can only
okay,
imagine, you.
it's not even funny,
It,
but what happened,
yeah,
I
it's not
mean, during the last couple of weeks, we had multiple cases when they, simply hit the building and the fire starts
residential
immediately. Yes,
buildings.
residential building. And one of my students, her colleague's flat burned down in seconds, well, minutes, of course, not seconds, but I mean,
Hmm.
of course, firefighters come, they come quickly, but it's still time. And why not? If it's a matter of, I don't know, 20 euros, why not have it?
Yeah, yeah,
And
and
everybody
and tell
should,
me.
have it. The
Yeah, I
relative
guess
that's in Ukraine.
it's even required, I guess, by the
Yeah,
law, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Except I don't think I have an extinguisher in my house. I don't think
Well,
so.
what can I say? You should.
All right,
It's
everybody.
it's so ugly. It's just
It's
sitting
ugly,
in my hole,
but
but
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, you're right.
One of my students offered me, to solve my, decor problems to buy a paint which is fire resistant and repaint it in whatever color I
Oh
need.
yeah, yeah,
Why
that
not?
is,
It should be pink, of
that becomes a
course.
decoration, that
Yeah.
becomes a decoration in your house.
Hmm.
All right, great. But we are happy nevertheless. Thanks a lot to all the listeners who are with us. And Masha, I think we could easily dive from here into some sort of a random conversation for which we are totally unprepared. And this is
Fast
true, guys.
conversation?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. But the thing is that we are totally unprepared. It's just that, well, we know each other, so it's a
Yeah,
bit
but when
different,
you
right?
say I'm prepared, and I'm thinking maybe I'm so lazy, maybe I'm so stupid, but even if I'm asking the question, if I have the question and I thought about, I mean, I came up with it maybe even a couple of days ago, I'm
Mhm.
never, ever trying to predict where it might go. Never. I think I'm
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
stupid, because it's much better to think out loud when you have somebody to bounce off your ideas. So I never go
Yeah,
through this
yeah,
question
but
in my
certain
head.
questions, yeah, but certain questions, I've got a lot of experience with questions, and formulating them and asking them, and I think that certain questions are simply pregnant, and certain are not, and yeah, and I guess the pregnant ones, are
And certain are stillborn.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
To explore this theme even
Great.
further.
So tell me, who's asking who
I'm going to
today?
ask you my
Oh,
question
come on,
because it's
fire away.
once in a
Fire away.
lifetime when I have not a difference question.
That's maybe
Ever,
true, but
ever.
I like your questions anyway, no matter what they are. There are
Thank you.
difference or come on, fire away. I'm ready. I hope.
Round one. No?
Bum.
Okay. How lazy we got. Okay. What is the relation between the quality of feedback and anonymity of the giver?
Oh, you have to explain to me that. Wait a second. I mean, my brain is processing this
Okay,
question.
imagine you need to receive feedback from people.
I think I get it. I think I get it now.
What
Yeah,
is
yeah. I see
better
that.
to ask them to give
Mhm.
it anonymously or to, not anonymously?
Mm, and the underlying thesis is that, let's say, feedback given anonymously is more honest, more precise, or what?
I don't know, but look what's happening right now, like what's happening on social media, what has been happening for such a long time.
Hmm.
Because people can go, I mean, you're given this power to, I don't know, to destroy a person if, of course, there are a lot of you, and you can do it anonymously. Look
Hmm.
at this, the amount of hate and online on social
Yeah,
media.
yeah.
It's much easier to do it when you are, hiding behind your screen or behind whatever.
But I don't think that hate is actually or qualifies as feedback. I mean, come on. I mean, unless
It
it is
is
some sort of feedback.
feedback.
It is. Really?
Anything is
Okay,
feedback.
so yeah, yeah, it's okay. I post something, you start
Yeah,
hating. This is
yeah,
feedback.
yeah. I'm giving you
Okay.
feedback. You're an asshole. Why is it not feedback?
This is not feedback, I think. We have to separate really, I mean, some hateful comments and personal attacks from feedback, which I guess should uh, at least be to some extent, related to your performance, and not to you personally or or I mean,
Well, not
you
necessarily
know,
performance. Sometimes you are asked to give feedback after you've received a service or something like this.
what's sorry, but what is the original question? What is the link between the quality of?
Really?
No, no, I'm in
Okay,
the
okay.
conversation,
Let's
but I don't know
let's
what the
let's go
conversation is
back. Let's
about.
go back to. I have something to anchor. You mentioned honesty. So, do you think that when you give feedback anonymously, you tend to be more honest than like how does it work? What do you think?
Mm, it sort of depends, because I think a lot depends on how much effort does the feedback require. Because if we talk about some simple transactions, let's say in a shop, and then you've got these three smileys, the
Hmm.
smiling one, the neutral one, and the sad one.
Hmm.
I guess of course, it's not even a precise feedback, I guess, but I think all it takes is just one click. I don't do it because I think it's horrible, for the people who work,
Why
like
is it horrible?
I think it's horrible, I mean, you've got a
You,
cashier, and there is that kind of device next to the cashier, and it's like, the cashier is tired after I know a 12-hour shift
so
or
always give
whatever.
them the best feedback. That's it. That solves
But
the
then
problem.
again, I don't think, I don't know. There is something in me, and this is actually quite common right now. Or it's everywhere, honestly, everywhere. I was buying the contact lenses the other day, and somehow they got my email. I don't know how, but apparently I
Gave it
gave
to
them.
them in my sleep. Mm.
Yeah, I mean, they elicited that from me. I don't know how, but it
This
happened, and then the very next day I receive an email like, rate your experience.
experience.
Yeah, in
Experience,
our
this
yeah.
experience is everywhere also.
But you know how it works. I
User
mean, they know
experience.
exactly who was servicing me,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
and my feedback, even though the question is pretty general, like how do you rate your service, blah
Hmm.
blah,
Hmm.
but it actually gets back to that very person who was,
Yes.
uh, you
But
know, uh, uh,
after all, it's all about people.
Yeah, but I don't like that, It's like,
Why?
okay, and look, I rate the person 8 out of 10, okay, or
Okay.
6 out of 10, or
Okay.
whatever. That pretty much depends on my mood, my memory, whatever. And the fact is that I was putting on my contact lenses for 20 or 25 minutes, cursing a lot because I forgot how to do it. I'm getting better at it right now. I think I reduced my time also thanks to Twitter, and I asked people, how do you actually put it on faster? There are some tips apparently, but the fact is that I was pretty annoyed, and now they are asking me
With
about my service,
yourself.
with myself, but also with the contact lenses.
But what does the person who was trying to help you have to do with it?
No, nothing to do with it, but I am annoyed with the product, perhaps, right? Because I can't manage to fix it, to put it on properly. And so, and then they are asking me, how do I feel about the service? I mean, it's kind of, you make a simple association. I'm pissed off about the product right
I'm
now because
sure
I
you're
suck at using it.
mature enough to separate these things and
Well,
evaluate the
you say
person
that. Well, you say
honestly.
that. Well, you say that. Sitting comfortably in your chair, and but if the question arrives at the wrong time, and I mean because you're hungry, because you
Mhm.
this, you that, then I don't think you're
So
you
you
know
knowing that simply sustain
I never
or
rate. I never rate. I
ah,
never send companies any feedback like how was what is my experience. You've got my only feedback is that I shopped with you. That is my feedback. And if I come back, it means that it's above average. I mean, it's above 5 out of 10, right? If I don't
oh
come back,
my
sorry guys,
God.
it's I mean what I mean because they're I know that they are working hard to improve their services, but they're also collecting data, and whatnot. I don't know. It's
Okay.
kind of I'm really
Okay.
I'm when it comes to commercial services like, selling contact lenses or installing the internet, for example, you know, uh,
Okay, I see that there are so many factors here at play. Let me give you a different example. When I worked for a school,
mm,
you would teach a course. I used to teach these intensive courses, which lasted, I mean, I spent with these people 4 days a week
all right.
by two, like for 8 hours a week
Hmm.
for 8 weeks.
All right.
So it's not like you go somewhere and see this person only once, buy contact lens from them and bye bye. Yep. And
Hmm.
at the
Hmm.
end of the course, the students were always asked to provide feedback. There was a forum
Sure.
for it, and
Sure.
and it was always anonymous.
Hmm. Hmm.
And there were many questions, and one of them was simply rate your teacher from 1 to 10. And
Hmm.
there was
Hmm.
specifically it specifically asked them, if you don't give 10, please explain why. You
Hmm.
know
So it's like 10 is I mean, this is weird. I mean, 10,
what
which is
is
like a
weird?
perfect, because I understand that 10 is perfect or
10,
10
it's when
is
you are
bearable.
why perfect? 10 is when you are basically satisfied.
Well, you're satisfied, but
Nine
what is
if
9 in that case?
nine if
It leaves something to be
be
desired.
desired, yes. And very often, I think there were people like you
Uh-huh.
who said 9 and always wrote something like, "There is no limit to perfection." And
Oh
they
yeah,
would,
but all right.
and then they knew that my, I don't know, bonus or whatever depended
Uh-huh.
on this form. And I'm not a
Did you
random
tell them
shop
that?
assistant.
Or is it implicit? Like, of course
They
it.
were, well, first of all, I think, yeah, it's kind of implicit, but I think the, they were given, they had to watch a video or something about this where
Mhm.
they were explained, I guess. Well, actually, I'm not sure. Do you think it's not
All right.
implicit? Do you think it's
I don't think
obvious?
it's no, I now when you said it, I think that the employees selling contact lenses, their bonus also depends on that feedback. And I was just unkind. But it's horrible. I mean, it's horrible. I mean, with this kind of bonus system, that you have to be a totally what submissive. Because how do you score 10? You don't score 10 if you show authority, and I know you tell a person that you look terrible in whatever that dress. Or you have to kiss people's asses to get 10, and then your bonus depends. This is it's sleazy. Blah. I don't like that. Okay,
But I'm
but
thinking, they were well, it's
But you
not
would only get a bonus for
strictly.
tens? I mean, like 9 is not enough. It means that,
I
you're
don't know.
not
They had a
perfect.
very, very complicated system of
All right.
remuneration. I never was able to
All right.
understand how it works.
All right. All right.
But the thing is that this feedback was given anonymously.
Hmm.
And I wonder, uh, if it hadn't been anonymous, would
Hmm.
people have been more, I don't know, conscious about it? Or
I don't think it's a matter of anonymity, to be honest. At least, I mean, I'm judging by, you know, by myself. I was actually giving an anonymous feedback, no, 2 days ago about a computer game called Kingdom Come Deliverance, which I played, which is great and which I recommend. It's a kick-ass game, it's you can't find anything better than that. And the second part is coming out in February, I guess. But the thing is that it was a really long survey, really long. Like, I don't know how many questions, but it was really long. I spent maybe 10 minutes, of my precious time. So, and I was really going fast, like, but there are a lot of questions, a lot of questions. But I think my feedback was honest. Like, I really reflected.
It was anonymous. Okay.
It was anonymous. Yeah, it was anonymous. But honestly, it doesn't matter because if they ask me like my name, and I actually wish they asked me,
It
maybe
doesn't
I
matter
could win a
because
prize or
it,
what.
it doesn't matter because it was good feedback. What if you had to give bad
Yeah.
feedback?
Oh yeah, that's a good point, That's a good point. But what is more important from my point of view is your relationship with a given service or product. Because if you care, then you give an honest feedback. If you don't care,
Care, you mean
then it
if you
doesn't.
want them to improve, and if they do, you will
Yeah, I
come
mean,
back.
look. Let's go back to that, contact lenses. I mean, uh, I don't care so much if I buy them in this shop or that shop. Really, I mean, the next time when I finish using these contact lenses, I'm gonna buy it from the internet or anywhere. Honestly, I don't care, and there are many shops selling it. So I don't think I'll be coming back. Oh, it was so good, last time. I can't imagine going anywhere else. So honestly, this thing doesn't matter so much to me.
Yeah, but
But
this example, of course, yeah. But
if you
what if
talk
it was
about a
your
computer
computer
game,
game? Yeah.
yeah, well, I liked it.
Okay.
And I feel like this is a game, for those who don't know, Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's a game set in the medieval times in what is now Czechia, but was but it's close to me, in terms of geography and the overall let's say climate. And I sort of identify with that. It's a great story, well written, everything, plus the game, because if you know, Masha, anything about modern games, they're they are kind of, some of them, and you can feel that are basically products made to um, mm, cater, I think, to people's needs, or whatever.
To make you feel
There's some,
good while playing
yeah,
it.
make you feel good. Yeah.
Not never
The
suffer.
case in
I
point
remember this
is,
debate about old games and how they were
yeah, but
different.
the case I want to make is the new Dragon Age game, about which I was writing a bit in our latest newsletter. And please subscribe, by the way, those who are not doing that yet. A new Dragon Age called Veilguard has been released lately, and the game's beautiful graphically. It's really very good, but at the same time, it's shallow. It's kind of like, there are characters that are really unique from outside. Like, the clothes they're wearing, they're so cool. Like, it reminds me a bit of Final Fantasy series, if anyone was playing that. And the characters are great, but the texts and the dialogues there are so blunt. It's like, "Oh, yeah, we are a team. We have to work together and defeat the evil." It's like, what the hell is that? You don't expect that from an RPG game, from some kind of a story. You want to live through a story, right? Kingdom Come Deliverance on the other side it was like, to me, Kingdom Come Deliverance was made not really to please people, but it was made because the authors or the creators had an idea, and they simply, it was like art, really art. This is, I guess, the definition of good art. You don't do it to please people and to kiss their asses, but you do it because you feel it has to be done. And so, to me, Kingdom Come Deliverance, once again, the game, from the WarHorse Studios, I think is a beautiful game, and it has all my love. In contrast to the Dragon Age, the Veilguard, which I think is a great product, but you feel like it's a corporation that produced it. They had some market research. They included all the necessary elements of a successful video game, but somehow it just doesn't click.
So
And
if the
coming back to,
yeah,
yeah,
if
to
the
feedback.
if the next part will be disappointing, you care so much about this game.
I
You
played,
will
yeah,
have to
that's a
give,
good
and
point.
you
Good
will
point.
have to give, negative feedback. How would you feel
I
giving
love,
it?
these questions, because they really open up certain, certain parts of my brain and certain certain reflections. They release certain reflections I haven't thought about earlier. But uh, I cared about Dragon Age because I played the first Dragon Age. Unfortunately, I didn't play because there were, I think, at least three parts of it, or maybe two. But I haven't. I just played the first one, and I was totally, in love with that game. And then for some reason I think my PC was too weak or what. I didn't play. Even my PC back then was too weak for the first Dragon Age. Can't even tell you what year was that, 2010 or what.
Okay,
But
this show is turning into a video game review.
but
Can you
you,
please answer
yeah,
the
yeah.
question?
I'm kind of, I'm trying to land, there, but I need to go
Mm-hmm.
around a little bit. But
Mm-hmm.
the point is that I cared about Dragon Age. This is why I bought
Mm-hmm.
the new one, the Veilguard.
I'm already,
But
you know,
yeah,
so many names. I
okay,
find
you're
it
already
difficult
lost.
to
Okay,
follow.
all right, fine. The new game, all right. I bought the
Okay.
new game. It doesn't matter what's the name of it.
Okay.
But
Sorry.
I bought it. I bought it because
Mm-hmm.
I cared about the series. Because I thought
Mm-hmm.
that the first Dragon Age stirred something in me. I like the story. Okay, I like the universe. Okay, let's give it a try. And now I see that they turned this game into some kind of a corpo, um, do the what, because there's if you don't know, and for our listeners who don't know, the latest Dragon Age game is kind of politically correct. There is diversity. There is LGBT kind of mm, elements, and so on, which I don't really care. Like, okay, fine, let them be there. Masha, sorry, but there was another game, Baldur's Gate 3, which also
Okay.
featured such stuff,
Okay.
and that was great. The game was great, and some people, of course, were maybe a little bit enraged, that there are woke elements. I don't care about these woke elements. Give me a good story, and I
Mm-hmm.
can play a gay character throughout the game, and have gay sex in the game, no problem. Although I think, well, anyway, doesn't matter. But my point is,
Now we talk something interesting.
yeah, now it's okay. But my point is that this game uh, simply is a product of a professional studio that wants to make money. This is business again. This is no longer art. This is no longer, passionate people doing it, even though some people involved in the project probably were passionate about it. But I don't feel that passion. I feel
Mhm.
like this is a product. I got a product. So I don't care anymore about that game, about a potential sequel or whatever would that be called, because it's going to be like a fourth part. I don't care so much, really.
Did you leave feedback?
I mean, I can, because playing on Steam, the platform for games, you can leave your feedback, your opinion, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, there was a question: what's the difference between review and feedback? So,
Mm-hmm.
but let's say that the makers of the game visit the forums. They read the comments. I hope they do. So for them, it's actually a valuable feedback, and it really doesn't matter for me if I am um, giving my feedback. But in this case, I'm even discouraged from giving feedback. I'm this kind of a person who, if there's a negative feedback to give, I think I stay silent. And my silence is my feedback. But if I'm totally positive about something like KCD, Kingdom Come Deliverance, then I give my feedback, no problem. Take my time, and I saw the second part is coming out. Say, take my money. I mean, I'm sold because it's so good. It was so good. So of course, this is giving you credit, but I think they are going to deliver.
It's
So
actually
that's
interesting
it.
how you put it, that your silence is the feedback in itself, but
Yeah,
many
yeah.
people
Because I
read
don't
it
I don't like to
differently.
give. You know me a bit. I don't like to give negative feedback. But it's painful even, it's painful because
It is.
there's a game that you believed in. There's a game that's a title that's really meant something for you, and they turn it into a joke, or maybe if not a joke, then something so, and it hurts. I'm not going to give them feedback. Are they going to rewrite the game? No. I mean, all they can do is they can fix some I know minor bugs, update it a little bit, but I don't think the game can be changed like its DNA, because this is a problem of the DNA of the game, not a problem of what, some minor things. So I don't think so. That's why I'm silent, and I'm not going to buy, and definitely I'm going to pre-order like I did with this one. I'm not going to pre-order another Dragon Age game, forget about it.
But you said that giving negative feedback is painful, and I understand this. And very often,
Mhm.
I'm not giving negative feedback
Mhm.
simply because, especially if we're talking about, face to face, like,
Mhm.
talking to a person, giving them this feedback. It's painful for me,
Yeah.
first and foremost. And I think that if I was given anonymity,
Hmm. Ah, you
I,
would actually express
I
it.
would, and not to
But what about
complain
what
or, but
about what about what about giving the feedback to the third party, like the employer, not to the person that who was, let's say, performing the service, providing it, but to the employee, because that is the case of my internet. There was a guy who came to install the box, the whatever, this this Wi-Fi box, whatever, and he was terrible, simply terrible. The person was terrible. And then I received a phone call from the operator from it's SFR in France. It's one of the uh, mobile phone operators, but also providers of the internet and so on. And they asked me, "How do you rate your experience?" And I said, "Sorry, I have no time to talk." So I stayed silent again, but I could have, maybe I should have complained about the guy because he was terrible. But
generally, it's seen if people have nothing to say that they are, by default satisfied. So it's not
mm,
like you say
no,
my
no, I
silence.
wouldn't say that. I
Because
think
usually
it's
people,
very.
because it takes your time, and if everything is fine, then of course you just don't give it. But if something is wrong, that's when people, take their time because
That's a,
people like
it's really interesting.
complaining in general. They
Yeah,
love
you're
it.
right. You're right. You're
They
right.
love it.
I don't think like an ordinary person here. I don't think so, because
Yeah, me
actually I
neither. I
don't
don't
like
like
complaining.
complaining, and I agree with you that only if you care, and not in the
Only if you care. Yeah.
not in the like you care about this, but in my case, if I think that the time I put in, the energy and this awkwardness for me, it will pay off. Let me give you an example. This writing course I'm taking. I
Hmm.
mean, it's
Hmm.
fantastic and all the information we're getting, but the way these they call them seminars, but they are actually okay, group discussions, let's say,
All
about
right. All
something
right.
we read, the way they are structured, it's awful. And, I know in terms of management, how these classes are
Hmm.
managed and
Hmm.
organized.
Hmm.
And I complained twice. First,
Hmm.
face to face to the director of studies.
Hmm.
He
Hmm.
said, please just structure it and put it in writing. And I did. I wrote a long email and even not just complained that this is bad, but I explained how gave an alternative, how it can be done more effectively from my
Hmm.
perspective, having,
Because you care.
10 years, having 10 years of teaching experience. It's not like,
Yeah. Yeah.
as a
Yeah. Yeah.
teacher, I gave feedback as a teacher.
Hmm.
And yeah, not because I cared about sorry, the school per se, because I cared about myself, because I had to be with
Ah.
them
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
next 6 months and I
Yeah.
wanted to
Yeah. Yeah.
be
Yeah.
improved. And I
Hmm.
thought that maybe, if he said yes, of course, write me an email, that it would be taken into consideration. And after the, 3 months, nothing's changed,
Hmm.
and I just gave up. And now they keep sending us, because it's the end of the course and they keep sending us these forms. Please help us improve. And I'm like, no, of course, I'm not going to spend any of my
Maybe
time.
there's no way to, or there was no way to adjust it, during the course. Maybe it's only, the next edition of it that's
Maybe,
maybe
well, they
better.
have my feedback. So, I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
if they found it
But
valuable.
but I think it's not
And
so
it was
so
not anonymous.
simple.
It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
not
yeah, of course.
anonymous.
But in this case, uh, mm, I don't think it really matters whether you're anonymous or not, because once again, I will come back to what you said about hateful comments and so on. This is not feedback. It may be treated. I mean, it's easy to mix it up, but I don't think it's feedback. It's just hateful. It's just a hateful comment.
Yeah,
It's
okay, let's leave them aside. Yeah.
yeah. I know it's some sort of let's say yeah, some sort of a reaction, right? But not all reactions are actually feedback.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So I think no, I don't think so. And so I don't think it really matters. I mean, honesty, the level of honesty of feedback. I don't think it matters whether you are under your proper name
But what
or
if your
as
employer asks about your satisfaction?
mhm.
If something is at
Okay.
stake here, I mean,
Oh yeah, you're right. And there is, of course, there is this kind of yearly appraisal or whatever in
or
every
your
company.
performance review, but at the same time, you,
Yeah. Good, great point. Great point. I think people are lying a lot there, because their feedback is,
yeah,
you know, what's really funny is that the feedback is anonymous, but somehow you can get down to who said what.
yeah, this
You know what I
feedback I
mean?
was getting as
That,
when I taught
yeah, yeah,
group
yeah.
classes, it
So,
was done in writing. And of course, I know my
mhm.
students' handwriting because I checked so many of their
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course. So that is
homework.
one thing, but in companies. You have to rate your colleagues, right? I mean,
Yeah, your
and
colleagues,
and you oh,
your managers.
and more importantly, yeah, you have to rate your boss,
Yeah,
your direct
yeah.
manager, and so on. So I think that there's the fact that the managerial class is generally sorry to say that to all the managers listening, but sociopathic kind of managers are
That's a
generally
strong
people.
statement.
This is a strong statement, but I think there is not even a grain. There's more than a grain of truth in it. That managers, the quality of managers leaves a lot to be desired, and somehow feedback doesn't work. Why not? Because of course, there are. Once again, I don't want to put all managers into one category, but I think there are managers uh, who bully their employees, and even though they are bullies, they get great feedback, great ratings because they bully their employees. And
It's a
and
vicious
even
circle, you
if,
mean?
yeah, absolutely. And the company organizes these appraisals, and the surveys anonymously,
Hmm.
but the boss is able to somehow find out who said what.
No,
And
but what if
this is
it's
very
done
unpleasant.
electronically somehow and your
It doesn't matter because
CRM?
later during the lunch he may ask, so who said that I don't blah blah blah, or
Okay,
that
and
I
nobody
fart
will say
aloud.
who.
I mean, nobody will say that, but if some people say I didn't, and then it's only me left. So you can figure out who said what, basically, especially if the comment is to the point.
Well, then, but it
It's
means that this feedback is not anonymous, per se.
You're right. If there was some kind
And
of
that's why it's
a
dishonest.
mechanism to protect, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. If there was some kind of mechanism to protect your anonymity, like totally, then yes. But unfortunately, I don't think there's, let's say that your team has 7 or 10 people. Okay, this is not a lot,
Hmm.
and you're the manager of that group. So you are going to get down to who said what in no
Yeah, and
time.
if you're not totally absent, you will usually know who has a grudge.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Because it's not just that the feedback comes out of thin air.
But according to what you say, there is a relation. If it's anonymous, it's dishonest. If it's not anonymous, it's dishonest because of
The
fear
problem
of
is that
being.
but it's always this question has so many what is the name of that
You want to say, well,
leeways
it
or
depends.
yeah yeah let's say some leeways because
Leeways.
if your future depends on it,
Yeah,
like in this case, well, or you have to be careful, right, with what you say and how you say it.
but this is actually a
If
way
you're
to change your future.
It's not, Masha, let's be honest, I mean, you're gonna get fired or you're gonna get yourself in trouble, unless you really don't care and you already have a different job on the horizon, and so you can be honest. And this is actually the beautiful moment working in every company, I guess, when you know that you are signing with a different company, and then, the last 2 months you have to spend, it's like, I don't care, I can tell you the truth. I can finally be myself, because I don't care what you are going to tell me in return. So, uh, but in that case, when your future depends on it, your future doesn't. I mean, you rating your contact lenses vendor,
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't change your life, right? I
They will
mean,
stop
you just
selling
give.
you lenses. What if it's the last shop in France?
Oh yeah, but the
They say,
thing is that.
okay, you were not satisfied, so go find somewhere else.
Yeah, but we are also a little bit spoiled um, by the market, because we've got so many options. I can go here, I can go there. I don't care about your service. If it's bad, well, you go figure what's wrong with it, because I go to a different, provider, right? If I lived in one village and this one village had only one shop with that, well, I would care about that shop,
Yeah.
I would care about the quality of the service and so on. I would definitely, accept that. Honestly, let's be frank. What can go wrong in a shop with contact lenses? Okay, glasses is a bit different, because it's a bit more complex. But contact lenses, you just give them, the parameters. Give me the contact lenses by. I mean, this is like selling. It's like selling, uh, honestly, any kind of product. You just reach out to the shelf and okay, there you go. Thank you.
Yeah, but you can say, hello,
What
can I
sort of
help you? Have a nice day at
Yeah, I
the
mean,
end.
I mean, okay, if you don't say that, I mean, I take it for granted that you're kind of nice in this situation, right?
Well, that's the problem. You take it for granted.
I don't know, It's like, and then the
If it was
corporation
the
is,
only shop
and then the
in your
corporation is checking
village,
if people say good morning or what. I mean, this is
yes,
bizarre.
this cashier you rate at the end of your interaction, this is what
Hmm.
they're testing. If she said, good morning, have a nice day, sir. Can I help you? Whatever she's supposed to say.
I know, but I don't like it,
What else? What kind of service a cashier provides?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. But then everything becomes very plastic, These interactions in shops, it's like,
Yeah.
have a nice day.
Yeah,
And
this have a nice day. It's
this is
already
like this is like it could be recorded on a tape and just
no, no, no,
you press the button and have
you
a
know,
nice day.
for us Eastern Europeans, like Eastern
Hmm.
Europeans, this started, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago.
Yeah, the
Because
same, the same
because
Poland, the same.
16 years ago, nobody
Mhm.
ever told you have a nice day.
Yeah.
Nobody ever, ever. And when it started, we were like, wow, that's so cool. But now it's so plastic.
The
Yeah,
problem, the
really.
problem with have a nice day in shops in Eastern and Central Europe is that this is basically foreign to us to say
Yeah, it's
that,
foreign. Yeah,
and
it's
it's
foreign.
so artificial. But when you come to France, where bonjourné, it's like it's a bread and butter, you say that the client says it first to the shopkeeper.
Mm.
That's what it is in France. You don't wait until the cashier tells you bonne journée, but you say bonne journée, merci, au revoir. So it's basically, this is where it starts. It starts from you, from the customer who's grateful for, I don't know, having the opportunity to
For the
shop and so
service
on.
you're about to receive.
And then yeah, whatever. But this is where it originates. In it was imported to our part of Europe, and then it was kind of imposed on all the staff. And they say, with that very mechanical voice, "Have a nice day. Have a nice day."
But
You don't
nevertheless,
ask
it
for it, but
felt
they
so
wish
good
you.
at the beginning comparing to what,
Maybe,
we
but
had before.
I remember my mom complaining
And the
about it.
shop assistant's
You
like,
know,
чего тебе? You know?
you're right, but
Next. Next.
I remember my mom being really sensitive about it, and she's a person who can smell the rat really from a long distance,
Mm.
and it's this kind of dishonesty, this kind of corporate mumbo jumbo, and all these elements. And I remember that we had our corner shop, downstairs, and that we were going to very often, and then the owner changed one day. And after that, they introduced that "have a nice day," because, suddenly the personnel got their own uniforms, and like, they became more, I'd say, corporate, whatever. And then it suddenly started, and, you could even, I mean, you could
And your
literally
mom stopped
see.
going.
I don't know if she wasn't that, she wasn't that. But the thing is that, you do the shopping, you pay, and then suddenly it's like, "Have a nice day," and you are already either about to leave, or you are actually leaving the shop,
Hmm.
and then you hear that "Have a nice day." It's like, well, the hell.
Oh, come
Yeah,
on.
you know, it's nice when both sides expect it and play the game like it is in France, for example, and perhaps in other civilized countries, But it was so artificial in Poland, and it's still, it's not like every person is artificial with these words,
No, not every, no.
because because sometimes you have certain relationships, for example, your vendors at the street market, or the people, so you're, and I don't want to say that people in Poland or in general in our part of the world are rude. We are rude, of course, but there's also a lot of warmth, except this warmth is kind of hidden, it's like it's not outside. We are very warm inside. We are great people, very hospitable and whatnot. But I think that we just don't express it so much outside. But when there's a problem, there are no better people than Central Eastern Europeans. But the point is that it's quite strange for us to be so. Have a nice day.
Yeah, especially when the
Please come
only
again.
interaction you have with, like, basically giving you something, you paying and then leaving, then of course, but sometimes you have you talk about something with the shop, I don't know, with barista.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. Oh,
then
yeah.
when you
That's
already
different.
had
Yeah.
an interaction about, I don't know, weather or whatever, something, something new,
Yeah,
then it feels very, very
natural.
natural.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But
But
this is,
otherwise,
provided.
yeah, I agree. And
Yeah, but imagine going
I
to a
even,
pharmacy, and you don't even know the people. It's the
yeah, yeah,
first time
yeah,
you
yeah,
visit
of
a
course, yeah.
pharmacy, and it's like, "Have
Yeah.
a nice day." And, it's okay in France. It wasn't, and it's still weird, I guess, in Poland. Don't know why. Don't ask me, but
No, it's not
it's
weird.
culture.
It's
It's culture.
ubiquitous, but yeah, sometimes I even caught myself thinking that sometimes not sometimes I would never enter a shop which is empty
Mhm.
because I know what's going to happen next. They're going to
What?
approach me with their "have a nice, are you having a great day and can I help you?" And there is nobody else in the shop they can
Are
turn
you
their
talk about
attention
like
to.
clothes?
Clothes shops, yeah.
Oh yeah. You serious?
No,
They're
I'm
they are
serious.
so.
Yes,
Right.
yes, yes.
Yeah. I think
Never.
it's
They will
somehow I don't
attack you
have a
with
lot
their
of
nice
experience
days,
from
and
buying clothes,
maybe you
like
never, maybe,
rags.
maybe you just don't go. You don't have empty shops, maybe.
It's not like, there is a time of the day, like, like maybe right before noon or somewhere,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
the shopping centers are kind of empty, and
Well,
yes,
I
you
go
can.
shopping when I have gaps. in my
Yeah,
calendar.
yeah.
It's usually during the day, and they are very
Yeah,
often
it's usually
empty.
during the
And I
day,
was
yeah.
like,
But
no, no way, please leave me alone. I just want
right, yeah, you're right.
but
Yeah, but I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because this is not a genuine human contact.
no,
This
no.
is basically a corpo speech. I need to tell you about my experience from the kitchen showroom that we visited the other day. And, um, we were about to design a kitchen, and the conversation was so tough with one lady, so tough. Like she was not there to help us design our kitchen. She was there to
To sell
sell
you.
the kitchen. Yes. And then, since I was absent during the first meeting, so then she knew, she felt that she's I was giving her some feedback, but not literally, but she was observing my face. She knew that she's losing me, she's losing me a big time. And suddenly, she was like, okay, let's stop designing this kitchen. Let me show you, our whatever
Samples.
furniture, yeah, yeah, and so on. And she started talking about the quality of the furniture, it's blah 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 blah. It's like, it goes like, it's I can already hear that this is pre-recorded, that she's just pressed play.
Script. Should just
Yeah, it's a
follow the
script. Yeah, it's a script. She learned that during her trainings, and it's just like pop, 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 this is some qualities, features, that was in French, and my French is pretty poor still, and I was like, God damn it, I don't even understand half of it, but I know what it is. This is the corpo speak. So I say, give me a break. Show me how big is the fridge. This is all I care about. I told her I want a big fridge. That's all I want in my kitchen. I don't want to have these desktop that are or worktops. Sorry, worktops that are made of marble. I don't care. I don't literally care. It can be made of whatever, wood plank, or what is the name for that? Uh, doesn't
Well,
matter,
you do care that it's not plastic.
Okay, I care, but I really don't expect plastic worktop. I mean, come on. This is the
It's France
2024,
after all.
yeah, come on. Yeah. So it's funny, but and we what we did? We quit. We quit. We never really came back to that lady,
Yeah.
even though she was like, it's only promotion till the end of October. You have to sign, you have to sign this paper. If you sign now, you will never get a better deal because it's the 15 years of our company. We celebrate it as this, beautiful
Oh, yeah, yeah,
anniversary.
yeah. Oh my
We
gosh.
say, we said just, you know, and of course, we didn't say that. We didn't say that. We just, we simply never came back. We said we canceled our next appointment. Sorry. And then we went to a different showroom where there was a lady who was genuinely interested in our kitchen, like really, really interested, where to, what to put where, how this is going to look like. She
Well,
wasn't really
she
a
was
sales
also trying to sell
person,
you something, but at the same
but
time,
not.
she was trying to help.
She was trying to help, and
Yeah.
she was a human being.
Mm.
She was a human being. I know maybe that's because she was pregnant, so I believe she's leaving soon, for her maternity leave. Maybe I don't know what she didn't care about selling some. No, it's not. It's not this, It's not this. But I saw a human in her, not a selling machine. And then uh, the point is that the first showroom had actually better kitchens quality wise, but the other one with the nicer lady had a little bit worse quality, I think. I'm talking about the finishings, that kind of stuff, it kind of looked a little bit cheaper, it looks a bit cheaper. And but I and then I posted also a poll on my Twitter. So what do you choose? A service, sorry, a better product with worse service, or worse product with a better service, or a better salesperson, basically, because that's what I mean by service here. And people, of course, I think people voted generally that they prefer better product, and this
Yeah,
salesperson
because this
doesn't
kitchen, you're going to end up with
matter.
this kitchen for the
Yeah, for the next
next.
decade or
Yeah.
more. Yeah. So, and I know, and this is so ridiculous from my side.
Yeah.
Why am I even, paying attention to who's selling it? But I saw the first person was greedy. She was greedy. She wanted to sell. She didn't want to even, react to our comments. Like, let's add another shelf. She's like, no, 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 it doesn't look good. because probably this is going to
Hmm.
decrease her bonus or whatever, because she wants to sell us as little furniture as possible for as much as possible. I guess that's the logic, I guess, behind that. And so the bottom line is that we signed with the nicer lady with the worst kitchen, but she wasn't using this kind of, corpo speak. And she wasn't don't get me wrong. When I say she wasn't a salesperson, she was selling, but that was a human experience, that what you expect from selling. Selling is great, but, you know, it has its limits, and you can sometimes feel the greed, this kind of artificial language, this kind of lack of connection, but just blah 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 blah, blah machine gun, corpo speak, our quality, our standards, and so on. Yeah, and then I asked the lady, so where do you make your kitchens? Oh, we make them in Germany. Oh, Germany, the German kitchen is not a French kitchen. No,
Oh
it's a
my God,
German kitchen. And
that's
then I,
what did it.
and then I say, so can I see the specifications? And then I just, I go through it, and I see the name of the furniture is Anya. Say, God damn it, it's made in Poland. This is what they do. They make it in Poland, then they ship it to Germany, 1 week in the warehouse, and it's suddenly a German kitchen. It's German furniture because it spent 1 week in the German warehouse. But where was it made? Anya, it's like a Polish name. And there were other like Bożena. Come on. Do you name in German? Do you name a German kitchen Bożena? I mean, sorry, it's a Polish name. So
Oh,
this
okay, that's
is
the
it's
true
so
reason.
ridiculous.
That's the true reason.
But but they will tell you, no, they're German. There's German furniture, great quality. Germans and their cars. But they would never tell a French person, this kitchen is from Poland. Oh, the Polish kitchen. Oh, the crap. I expect low price, and so that's why it works. It's the same with meat that is from Belarus,
Now
but
we
it's
got
a
to the
French meat.
bottom of it. Now,
Yeah.
okay.
All right. So much about feedback, Masha. Great question. Thanks a lot for asking it. I don't know if I answered your question, about the
No, of
honesty.
course you didn't.
But my conclusion is that the feedback is honest when the relationship between you and the thing you are feedbacking
Is
is
meaningful.
honest, is
Ah,
meaningful, is honest. Yeah, this is simple, and it doesn't matter whether you are yourself, your name and surname, or whether you're just an anonymous person like me and KCD rating the game. I can do it anonymously, but it's equally honest as if I was doing it.
because there is nothing at stake.
That's another point. There's nothing at stake, and this relationship is really frank. That's it. But yeah, there are lots of things to consider. But I wouldn't really treat anonymous feedback as either superior or inferior. There are other factors that play a role. And sometimes you simply don't come back, like we didn't come back to that kitchen showroom number one. And I guess that, they should know better now, why not?
Yeah, they should know better.
I wonder
Only
if they,
you
I
will be
wonder if they were,
suffering with an inferior kitchen.
I don't care, but I had a better experience buying it. And honestly, Masha, what kind of inferior kitchen? How do you measure that quality?
Well, that your words, not mine.
Yeah, but after all, I was just thinking about it. Okay, maybe you need better kitchen, but you know what? I don't care because when it breaks, it breaks. It's that the previous one
No,
is.
no, no. I would, I mean, especially if you wanted to support your countrymen, I would go back to the shop with Polish kitchens disguised as German kitchens and just buy it without, and I said, I don't need your help. That's what I would do.
Yeah, but probably the other one's also from Poland. We are a powerhouse when it comes to furniture production. The problem is that they present it like Italian, German, French, Spanish furniture, but everything comes from a factory in Biłgora. Come on, it's that's what it is. That's what it is. I don't believe that honestly that you can produce these days furniture in Germany at the prices they offer. I mean, sorry, and wherever, so, or France, so that's what it is. All right, great. Thanks. I wonder if our listeners, I'm talking to you right now, if you have any reflections about the corpo speak, about
Polish furniture disguised as German.
Polish furniture disguised as German, yeah, or perhaps Ukrainian. I think
Or
it's even
video
better.
games. Soon, I think, very soon it will be Ukrainian
We
kitchen
touched so many, yeah, we touched
disguised
so many
as,
subjects, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So
So that's
that's what
it.
it is. I hope this conversation also provoked you a little bit to kind of feel like I want to take part in this conversation. Come on, give me the mic.
And if you do, please contact us.
Yeah,
Yes,
get
and
in
you'll
touch.
be
It's
on this show.
tolpodcast@hotmail.com, or simply go to our website, tolpodcast.com, and you know how to find us.
And
So,
subscribe to our newsletter.
and subscribe to our newsletter, exactly. That is coming out this Sunday, Masha, isn't that true?
I hope.
All right, we hope. Yes,
Fingers
because
crossed.
yeah, fingers crossed. Exactly. So,
Okay, so
over to
this
you.
was another episode of the Thinking Out Loud podcast. Thanks everyone for listening. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye.
Bye bye.